What's up, guys? Swan602 here with another edition of What's New WWE Payback 2016. Went off the air, and I gotta say it was a solid show. Other than it's the one really bad thing that happened that I get to in a second. I think it was a solid show. Did I get everything I wanted out of it? No, but I do like the direction WWE is going in, and it's for what it was. It was eventful. I would give it that. So let's kick it off. The kickoff show. I did not watch. I wasn't here for that, but I do know that Baron Corbin lost to Dolph Ziggler by roll up, and uh, Kalisto retained his U.S. Championship by defeating Ryback with the Salida del Sol. Um, Let's get to the actual pay per view. The pay per view started on a very, very low note because of an unfortunate event that happened in the first match, which was the number one contenders match, the ending to the tag team tournament. Always thought knew they'd come out there and do their thing to start the show off and cut a promo. And they sat in beanie chairs, and then the contenders came out, which were uh, the Villains versus Enzo and Cass. This match would end drastically, very quickly, as it was Enzo Amore who would get thrown into the outside, and I think he was going for like a baseball slide, but before he slid outside the ring, he hit his head on the ropes very hard, and you can see during the replay that his eyes rolled back to the back of his head, and he was knocked out. Everybody was very concerned about Enzo, but fortunately, by the end of the night, we found out that he was okay and he was moving. And right now, what is confirmed right now is that Enzo Amore has a concussion, which I'm happy. I mean, I don't want him to be injured in any kind of way, but I'm happy that it's just a concussion and not, something serious like a, neck injury or something that's gonna, could it possibly have ended his career. So I'm pretty sure this is probably Enzo's first concussion, so I think he'll be okay. But yeah, heal up, Enzo, man, heal up. I love you, what you're doing. You've freaking been on fire, and I hate that the Enzo and Cass that this had to end this way right now. That when you're so high on the main roster, and it had to, um, come to a drastic halt because of a freak accident. Um, so yeah, and definitely Simon Gotch is definitely not to be the blame for this. That was just a free accident that happened. It happens. I mean, you sign up for the business, and things like this are bound to happen from time to time. It's just unfortunate that it happened to Enzo More. So heal up, Enzo. Definitely can't wait for you to come back. You definitely ain't soft, man. You're a tough son of a bitch. Um, Next was the a match. Dude, I didn't get the fans back into it. Was definitely the match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Their first match on the main roster. Their third match overall in WWE. Um, this match was really, really good. Probably my second favorite match of the night. Awesome spots. To one point where um, Sami Zayn was going for his patented tornado DDT when he holds the hand, smacks him on the chest, and then goes for a tornado DDT. But when he jumped back at it, Kevin Owens caught him like a backbreaker. That was freaking sick. Um, Man, it was like just a lot of crazy, awesome sequences between those guys. Guys know each other so well, man. How many matches have they freaking been in? Just how many uh, over their 14-year career? Um, but yeah, man, this was very, very good. But it would end after a super kick. I think Economos would super kick Sami Zayn and then hit him with a pop up power bomb and pin him 1, 2, 3. Owens would get on the will throw smack Owens Zayn in the face, throw him out the ring, and basically cut a promo and basically boast about him beating Zayn, saying that he is the best, and he's going to move on to what he wants the most, the Intercontinental Championship. So he sits down at commentary with Cole and the gang. And as the Intercontinental title happens, which is the next match, Cesaro taking on The Miz. and a very, very solid match. You know, Cesaro, he's doing his thing. All those the big swing, big saw everything you want to see from Cesaro. Cesaro section was out there tonight, baby. It was tons of those signs, by the way. Um, Thought the match was going to end after the Skullcrush finale, but Cesaro kicked out. Um, but it would get really interesting once they kind of cut to Kevin Owens talking again, and who comes back? It was Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn comes back out there, attacks Kevin Owens while the match is still going in the ring. They get on they fight to the out like over the barricade, come back, and they're fighting on the apron while the match is going on. Cesaro bumps both of them off, and the Miz gets a roll up victory uh, after the distraction to retain his title. I like that. Um, After that, I think Cesaro would hit the neutralizer on the Miz, and then Kevin Owens would think he would pop up powerbomb Cesaro. I think he'd be the last person standing in the ring, so we get a possible fatal four way or something going on. The Intercontinental division is really high, and I'm really enjoying what's going on with all four of those guys. Um, Next was the Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho match. Also a very solid match. The crowd was definitely booing Jericho, man. I actually like that because sometimes the smart fans they don't want to boo. They're chanting other stuff, but they actually was chanting Y2 jackass and all that stuff, which was cool. Um, yeah, the match was solid, man. I don't know what to really say about it. I can't really think of any specific spots or anything. Uh, but Dean Ambrose would hit the dirty deeds on Chris Jericho and pin him in the middle of the ring. And that will be that for that. Um, Next was the women's title match, which had the women's champion Charlotte taking on Natalia with both of their legendary, uh, the legendary father of Charlotte, Ric Flair on one side, and then Natalia's uncle, the legendary Bret Hitman Hart, who was just returning from his prostate cancer, recovering from that and all that stuff. So it's really good to see Bret out there, who apparently didn't even want to be there in the first place, but I'm glad he was there. Um, this match was also really, really good. I definitely was probably it was definitely solid. It wasn't better than the WrestleMania matchup, but the matches at least it was solid. It was they gave it time, but it would end after Charlotte would put Natalia in the sharpshooter, and they would do the whole Montreal screw job thing. I'm like, dog, come on, really, guys, you can't. Every time Brett's in the ring, they have to do something like that or remind us about the Montreal screw job. So that happened. But what I really don't get about that whole segment is like, who was Charles Robinson looking at? Who gave him the okay to do that? He just randomly was like, no, screw it, man. I don't even like freaking Bret Hart. I'm a little Nate. Ring the bell. So I don't even know why that happened. There was nobody there to give him the signal to do it, so that was kind of weird. But anyway, Charlotte retains the championship, and then Bret Hart would get in the ring, and they would both put dueling sharpshooters on Charlotte and Ric Flair, which was a cool, little segment right there. Next, I believe, was the whole segment with McMahon segment. I'm gonna get really short. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this. Basically, they spent like it felt like freaking 30 minutes they were talking about who should get the job, and in the end, Vince says, "Hey, you both get the job. So you guys are gonna both work together." So all that talking for them to say, "You guys work together." So okay, so now we have two GMs for SmackDown and Raw. Not separately. They're both going to be controlling both SmackDown and Raw. Shane and Stephanie. Um, then it was. Did I get everything? I think I did. I think that's everything. Next was the main event, uh, which was AJ Styles taking on Roman Reigns. We all wanted something to happen over this championship match. Things did happen though, I give that, but not what we was expecting. We had that vintage spot that everybody was calling, which was AJ going for the phenomenal forearm, get caught with that Superman punch. That was pretty sick. Um, AJ Styles hit a freaking phenomenal forearm. He had like three of those, but one of them he hit. while Roman was like laying on the announce table, and they like went through it. That was freaking crazy. Um, um, yeah, it was an awesome match. But at the end, right after that happened, AJ got back in the ring, and it was a count out. But the fans were getting mad. They thought that the pay per view was over after over freaking count out. I was getting kind of pissy too, like what the heck. But then Shane O'Mac came out there and said that this is not going to end, and things are not going to end this way in this era anymore. So restart the match. It is a no count out match or something like that. So that happened. After that, I think Roman Reigns will unintentionally uh, punch uh, AJ Styles in the freaking crouch, um, and then they get a disqualification. Steph will come out there and say, "Oh well, that's not gonna happen. I want to one up my brother and make it a no DQ match." So after that, shit was about to hit the fan. Um, the Anderson and Gallows came out there, beat up Roman Reigns. The Usos came out there. AJ Styles would I think Roman would he was gonna go for like the finish of the match. I think he did. He hit the phenomenal forearm and then pinned him. I think he kicked out. Um, then Roman Reigns would like throw him into the Usos and Gallows and Anderson, and then he would do his like vintage Undertaker like over the top punch over him. That was pretty cool. But the thing the end would happen where he would hit him with a 450 and then go. I think he went back to like the outside, try to hit the phenomenal forearm. Roman Reigns would get up, yeah, he and then counter, run off the rope and hit the spear. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns retains the championship. No heel turn, but it's whatever. I didn't really expect it. I was like, oh man, they're not gonna do anything, and they really didn't. But at least they it wasn't just a clean victory by Roman Reigns. One thing that's weird about this pay per view is that man, they were really quick to make the next match because right after this match was over, there was like Roman Reigns would be taking on AJ Styles for the title again um, at Extreme Rules. And I'm like, didn't he just basically beat him clean? I mean, if you take out those little shenanigans that happened, he pinned them, nothing. I don't know. Anyway, he's going to get a rematch at Extreme Rules now. And they couldn't even wait to Raw to announce that or like kind of let it sink in. I was kind of weird, kind of rushing it. But anyway, yeah, so that is Payback 2016. Tell me what you thought of the show. Did you enjoy it? Let me know in the comments below. But until then, guys, comment, rate, subscribe. Stay cool, everybody. Peace.